Attention, citizens of planet Earth. This is a public service announcement. We have come to tell you that everything that you have been told is a lie.
Thanks for watching LockEmUp Hoops podcast, whether it's audio or video. This is the LockEmUp Hoops podcast. I am Realistic Randy with Mastermind and Bold Barry. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight?
I'm all right. It's a sad day today, but I'm good though.
Sad day. Hey, this is a monumental day. This is the last day of Kobe Bryant's career. He's playing the Utah Jazz in just a little bit. Also, the Golden State Warriors, they're going for 73 to eclipse the 96 Bulls 72-win season back in 95-96. We're going to start with Kobe right now. This is Kobe's last game. This is it, man. This is it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it actually just hit me not too long ago. I was just telling y'all, my fiance and I, we were just watching highlights and everything like that, and I saw Kobe with the afro and number 8 and everything like that, and I was just like, oh, damn, man. I can't believe it. Mastermind, let's start with you. I'm just going to, sit back because I know this means a lot more to you than everyone else here on this podcast. You're the Laker guy. You love Kobe. What do you make of Kobe's career, his final game of the season? What do you take from all this right now?
Wow, where do I start? It's been a fun 20 years. That's what I can say for sure. Not the last 3 years have been terrible, but for 17 years, it's been a really, really good journey for me. When I say I'm a Kobe fan, I'm a Kobe fan, to the max. You know what I mean? So I grew up just idolizing this guy from, just the way he walks, the way he shoots. I was a guy in the backyard just for counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just screaming Kobe. Not even my name. I'm screaming Kobe's name. So it's just it's crazy to see that this guy's career is coming to an end, and you can see how the media is treating it, and he's gonna definitely be missed. For me, it's kind of weird to see how the media is treating him right now because this dude was hated for a good chunk of his career. So
since 04.
Yeah, a good 12 years was the last 12 years of his career. He was probably hated. So it's just weird to see everyone just praising him, and he has his farewell tour right now. So it's pretty crazy to see that. But as career wise, I've had many talks with people, especially Bold Barry, about. I honestly think he's the second best player of all times. I mean, if you ask me, pound for pound, talent-wise, individual skills, this guy in his prime, no one could guard this guy. I mean, this guy put up 81 points in a game. He brought teams with Smush Parker, Chris Mim, Kwame Brown to the playoffs, things like that. So it's how many players? That's 3 on 5 right there. If you have Smush Parker, Kwame Brown, and Chris Mim as your front court. So I mean, it just screams just his talent and his will every single night to make sure he got a win. He lived and breathed basketball. I was watching today on ESPN Classics, just the interviews that he had as a 17-year-old and just how articulate he was and how determined he was to be great. And it's why were you thinking like this at 17? Most guys at 25 just start thinking like that. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to see how he's matured over the years, how he's gained respect from his peers along the way. It's just interesting to see how it's crazy. It's just so much in my mind.
Wow.
Again. So let me start with his career, championships. We all know he has 5 championships. He's been to 7 finals appearances. His first 3. We know they were with Shaq, and I hate when people say he needed Shaq. Without him, he wouldn't have those championships. We can't argue both. I mean, if Shaq wasn't there, I'm pretty sure he still would have had 2 without Shaq. You know what I'm saying? So that would exactly. But without Shaq, I know he would have had at least 3 more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna read the numbers he had during those years, those first 3 years of the championship. In 2000, he was averaging 22 points a game. The repeat, he was averaging 28, and then the three-peat, the third championship, he had 30 points a game. So that already screams he had a lot to do with those championships. It wasn't just Shaq. So obviously we know Shaq was dominating and controlling you know, the whole locker room at that time. But Kobe had a lot to do with that. And what makes it crazy for me is those second championships. Those are my favorite Kobe years because after it took him 7 years to get to that point again. To remember the feeling of being victorious, and and his team, to me, his team still wasn't strong. I don't think he's ever had a legit like team like Tim Duncan or guys like that, because he had Paul Gasol, but outside of that, like, who
Andrew
was
Bynum
really
too.
contributing? I'm balling too, but
Yeah.
hopefully, I'm so mad his knees just went out because
Yeah.
His
he
knees went
could have.
out the first year y'all got good.
So it could have been like that could have been another dynasty. He went to three straight final appearances with Pau Gasol. So it speaks to me like there was a lot of wasted years to me too in Kobe's career. And after they traded Shaq, that first year after Shaq, they didn't make the playoffs, and then '06, '07, they lost in the first round to Phoenix,
Phoenix.
where he had to threaten the organization like, listen, if you guys don't get talent in here, I'm out of here. And that's when they made the season, like a mid-season trade for Powell, and
The highway robbery trade.
Brown.
Never get over that. I don't know how they pulled that
Oh
off.
man, that's because
Powerful
we got
Kwame.
KG and them. We know what
Yeah,
happened.
Yeah.
and you see
That was a rebuild of rivalry.
exactly, and you seen what happened. As soon as he got MVP that year, and he went,
Yep.
I know he ultimately lost to the Celtics in six. He got them back in 2010.
Those Boston boys.
Got them back in 2010, but I can go on and on forever about this, like for real. So I'll jump back into it, but I'll let you go, Bowberry or Realistic Randy, about this.
So, Bowberry, before you go, just to run over the stats, Kobe's history real quick. 5-time NBA champion, Mastermind brought that up. 2-time Finals MVP. Third all-time in scoring, 07-08 MVP. 2-time Olympic gold medalist. 2-time scoring champ, and a first ballot Hall of Famer in the future for sure. Bowberry, just piggybacking off of Mastermind, what do you make of Kobe Bryant, his final game? It's over after today. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, I mean, honestly, I got a lot of thoughts, man, because I mean, this guy, like Mastermind said, I mean, he's the second coming to Jordan, man. I grew up watching this guy. I actually had arguments with a couple of my friends about how I'm suspected to be a Laker fan, because I like Kobe so much with the afro and all that stuff. Like, he was a beast, man. The guy just put up incredible numbers, and I've watched the guy do Jordan-like things to a T throughout his whole career. And it's not sad as much as I'm disappointed to watch him leave or end his career this way, because I mean, for the past about 4 or 5 years, I would say it's like it's been a real downhill slide with all the injuries, the coaching changes, the Dwight Howards, the Steve Nashes, and everything. So I've been real disappointed to see him ride out this way. But I mean, the accomplishments that this guy has bared has just been ridiculous, and especially with everything that he went through early at a young age in his career, after he was really on top of the world and battling back to being that likable but hated guy in the league, because he had to really dig himself back from '04. Honestly, another thing, it's like, this is a special day too, because he's playing the Utah Jazz, which is ironically the same time when he started his career in the playoffs and missed those buzzer beater shots against the Jazz. Yeah, 4 of them in a row against their first playoff run, but they gave him that shot. That's what made who Kobe Bryant is today. He asked for it. And then I'd like to just, point out today also being a special day, that it seems like it's a team themed day. And I feel left out. I don't have my Boston hat on, but he has his Laker gear. He's got his Maverick gear on, And then this is, a 1998 All-Star Jordan hat for his last year, just to put that out there, since we're, it's the second Jordan.
You just won't let Kobe have his moment, huh? You just won't let him.
Yeah, I had to let Jordan do that, but ESPN's doing it too. They've been showing the picture of him and Jordan, so I'm gonna have to throw some Jordan light in there if I'm mentioning him. But great career, man. I mean, the guy dropped 81. The man averaged 35 one year, and he didn't even get MVP. So I mean, granted, with all the robbery that has happened during his career and all the battles that he's had to take in order to get on top of his career, I just give that man the utmost respect. He's on my Mount Rushmore for sure. I will forever and a day have this argument with Mastermind about who's better between Kobe and Jordan, and we all know that Jordan is better, but he in his mind will be convinced that it's Kobe. But he's shown it, man. He's done. He
did say he was second best all time in his opinion, though.
He did, but offline,
unless he put like
he's
LeBron or
something.
Stop it.
But I loved Kobe's career, man, and I'm gonna be sad to watch one of the last of a dying breed type of players like him to like really see go, because after that you really just got Tim Duncan, Paul Pierce, and KG, and those guys are really at the sunset now. They're just
Dirk
there,
too, man.
So.
I'm about to say.
Oh yeah, yep. I'll throw Dirk in there. You right? No disrespect
You'll throw
to the
Dirk
man.
in there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think
But,
Dirk. Yeah, you know.
But that's my
Dirk
overall.
too, which is funny.
Yeah, I definitely did, but I took it back as soon as I saw the stats. But that's my final take on Kobe's retirement. I mean, it's just it's sad to see a great player like that go, because there's not too many of them in the NBA like him. Like, you won't see another Kobe Bryant, just like you'll never see another Michael Jordan. And he revolutionized the game just as much as the Steph Currys and the Michael Jordans did. It's just that it gets swept under the rug because he was most hated from 2004 to like
long time.
Now until like maybe
This
3
year.
weeks ago. When he was retiring. So all respect to Kobe. We'll see you at the Hall of Fame. Mamba.
So, and actually, I think maybe part of it is because we were just so spoiled with Kobe, that now that it's over, it's like it's all hitting us. Like, right? Like, I just said a couple of moments ago, like, it just hit me a couple of hours ago, like, wow, it's over. And I'm not going to this is no disrespect to Laker Nation, Kobe fans, everything like that, as far as what I'm about to say. I think this season, so today's his last game, whatever, and that's fantastic. He'll get the send off into the limelight and everything like that, and that's amazing. That's fantastic. That's great. I think throughout this whole season, I may have watched 90 minutes, or not 90 minutes, 90 seconds or a minute and a half of game time of Kobe Bryant playing this year. I can't watch it, man. I can't. I couldn't.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. To me, Kobe Bryant right now, and like I said, he's done so much for the game. He's been a great ambassador. He's opened the doors for greats like LeBron, Steph Curry, everybody like that. We get that. But this is Kobe Bryant we're talking about. This last few years has been so hard to watch that it's the equivalent of Peyton Manning last year. Yeah, they won the Super Bowl. That's all amazing, but he was god awful. That defense of the Broncos saved them. Randy Moss when he went to the Tennessee Titans. Randy Moss when he went to the Tennessee Titans, it was hard to watch. Kevin Garnett right now, even when he was with the Brooklyn Nets, that was hard to watch.
Man.
That was hard to watch, man. All these legends, man. It's so hard to watch when this is not the Kobe that I'm used to seeing. I'm used to seeing Kobe just mix things up, just embarrass you, make you frustrated. I'm a Mavericks fan. I was never like, yeah, Kobe, but I was more so just full of he killed us so many times except for 2011. Mm-hmm. But in all honesty, like, this is really, really hard to watch. I can't gloss over and throw a parade and this is great and all this stuff because it's so hard to watch. Some of it's on Kobe, but a lot of it is on the Lakers organization as well. So let me kind of go through. So Bowberry, you talked about the last 4 or 5 years. By my count, I've got the last 3 years. That's been absolutely tough. So 2011, we mentioned Dallas Mavericks. That's when they beat the Los Angeles Lakers. They swept them in 4 games, ending that three-peat chance. Phil Jackson went off into retirement. Okay, fine. That next year, 2012, the Lakers, they lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the second round, despite Kobe Bryant putting up 30 a game. Okay, they're still doing their thing as the Lakers organization. That's fine. And then after that year, there was that 4-team trade where they brought in Dwight Howard. They sent Andrew Bynum. Like they sent Andrew Bynum over to Philadelphia and everything. And you're thinking, okay, wait a minute. Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Steve Nash. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with this. And then what happened to that? Kobe Bryant, he was averaging 27 a game that season, and right before the playoffs start, he tore his Achilles, was done for the rest of the year. So you knew that wasn't going to happen. I believe they ended up getting swept by the San Antonio Spurs in that first round of those playoffs. Okay. Kobe Bryant comes back that next season, right?
6 games.
13-14, played 6 games, was out for the rest of the year, season-ending knee surgery due to a knee injury, right?
Oh, no, that wasn't the dunk? That wasn't I just took a dunk year?
That was the following year.
No, and I'm about to get to that. That was the year after. So then you're thinking to yourself, okay, he's gone through some wear and tear. They still got Pau Gasol. Okay, Dwight Howard, he's gone now after this season with all the ruckus and everything like that. 2014 to 2015, played 35 games before having surgery, season-ending surgery for a torn rotator cuff on his right shoulder. And he's out for the season after that. And now we see what's going on right now this season where it's just like, oh, man, look at Kobe Bryant getting the praise and everything like that. But that's fantastic. I'll watch pregame. I'll do all that stuff. But when it comes to on the court, and you see what Kobe's been subjected to with the terrible moves by the front office, I'm not going to keep, dwindling or pouncing on that whole situation. We all know what's going on with the Lakers front office. They've got a lot of moves that they need to make this offseason. They got a lot of cap space and everything like that moving into this offseason, free agency, everything like that. We talked about D'Angelo Russell, how you can't trust them, so we'll see how they get through that. But this is hard to watch, man. I can't get on this train of, oh, isn't it the nostalgia, the majesticness, everything like that, because it's so hard to watch, man. This is not Kobe Bryant that I'm used to seeing, and it's not his fault. We understand he's aging. All players, they're going to get old and everything like that. But I'm willing to argue that if Kobe had a competent front office, look at Tim Duncan right now, right? He's limited. He's limited in minutes and like that, but he's still effective. I'm sure. I believe his PR is like 17 or something like that. Last time I checked. Dirk Nowitzki, he's still balling. He's still doing his thing despite DeAndre Jordan, all these players just screwing us over every single year.
Emoji awards.
If they had a competent front office, who knows what could have happened? I'm not saying that they would have won more championships, but they would have. Kobe could have gone out a lot better than this. He could have gone out a lot better than this, and it's a shame that it's come down to this, that this is the only reason why we're going to watch Lakers games right now tonight is because of Kobe being sent off. I think it's sad. It hurts me. It tears me apart to see this. Like I said, I'm a Mavericks fan. But I respect greatness. I respect legends. I respect everything about Kobe Bryant. And to see it end like this, the same as Randy Moss going to the Tennessee Titans, KG, wearing suits back in Minnesota, just, everything like that. It's hard to watch,
He's
man.
He's just going to go home because LeBron did it.
It's hard, man. It's hard to watch, man. So, Mastermind, I'm going to throw it back to you. That's my take on Kobe Bryant. What's your final thought?
Before you go, can I just say one more thing that you mentioned how bad he's playing? It's awful to see. Like, I'm looking at his percentages right now, and the past 2 years, this man has shot under 40%, like 35 and 37. Like, goddamn! Like, then when can the man just stop? I'm glad. This you can't re-sign Pau Gasol because you pissed him off enough to leave in free agency and everything like that. It's like, what else can Kobe Bryant do? He had no choice but to try to do the best he could and try to be the ringleader.
And listen. Like, I'll go back. So say, if this was Dirk, if Dirk didn't have any help, if Tim Duncan didn't have any help, they would be forced to be the main guys, and they would be doing the same thing. So it's like him for this. But going back, so the championship when he won against the Celtics, that was his 14th year, by the way. So after that year, he could have retired because most players don't even make 14 years. You know what I'm saying? So his longevity is crazy. So when he got swept by the Mavs, that was his 15th year, and then when he ultimately lost to the Thunder, that was his 16th year. Like, that's a lot of wear and tear on his body. And the Lakers should have been looking to help add pieces at that time instead of last year and a year before that. When they traded for Dwight Howard, that was supposed to work out, but it just didn't work out the way it should have. Dwight Howard expected this treatment where he should have been
Kobe passed the torch.
I believe in some type of way, I wouldn't say pass it, but I think he could have been involved a little bit more, but that's the coach's look who they chose as a coach.
D'Antoni, let's not even talk about that.
That could have been a little bit different. He could have been a force down low on top of that. And you had Pau Gasol still at the time, and at some points he wasn't even used right. They had him standing at the 3-point line.
D'Antoni system.
It just, so many things that happened during those times just pissed me off because that year something good could have happened, and then especially the year that they lost to the Thunder. I mean, that to me was the passing of the torch to the younger class because I knew they weren't gonna win that year. The year they got I knew it just because Durant was up and coming. He was unstoppable that year.
And the year before that, don't forget the year before that. That's when the Thunder, when they met the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals, so they were building momentum and everything like that.
Yep. Because they were getting better each year, so they were coming.
In both of those years he lost, he was having a little bit of injury problems at that point, because those are the years he was going to Germany to get this so-called knee surgery that we still don't know.
I forgot about that.
The knee surgery that just made him play 82 games in 2011 and 73 and 82 back-to-back.
Exactly. So he had some type of injury at that point, but Kobe's not going to speak on that. He is a warrior. He is a guy who will play through any type of injury. He would have played through that Achilles injury if he could have. He went out there and still shot. He went out there and shot 2 free throws and made those 2 points, and that cost him the win, of course. Look you got players like, there was this picture that I seen, Paul Pierce getting carried out in a wheelchair because he hurt his knee and he ends up coming back.
Man, don't even bring that crap up. Where he was like, I'm
hey,
hurt,
man,
and then 15 minutes later he's running back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm back, yo. I'm ready to take things over, man. Don't even get me started on that crap, man.
Exactly.
Hey, man, he got the shot, man.
Man, I should
that?
make that a buzzer beater, man. Little fake injuries. Paul Pierce was the original flopper, man. Oh yeah, I need to be carried out. Oh my God, it's over. And like 5 minutes later, before water could turn into ice cubes, this dude came back out and was like, "Yeah, I'm back."
Bro.
Whatever, man.
4-point play, I'll never forget.
This Kobe segment. Don't bring that up. Don't bring that garbage up, man.
The truth.
That was a lie.
Kobe, the comparison to say that he would never fake some injury like that ever. So
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting.
Why can't you bring up LeBron with his his whiplash? You gotta bring up Paul because he's a Celtic.
That's the one that sticks out the most. I'll never forget that one. That happened during.
It happened to y'all. That's why y'all got smashed by 40.
So good. Got him back.
Hey, so this is Kobe's.
Paul got.
This is Kobe's last game. Paul's got one. Paul's got one and a flop and a big flop in the finals.
And he needed Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen.
Hey, whatever, man. Kobe needed all the best big men in the world to get these chips. We're just gonna say that.
I guess Marcus Gasol's the best big man of all time now. Huh?
He was the best power forward, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just sit back. Keep going. Yeah, y'all should keep arguing.
Just remember.
Keep going. I like this.
He was better than Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki.
Who? Powell?
Yeah, at those times. Who else I can name out there? LaMarcus Aldridge.
So you're just gonna throw LaMarcus? Say Kevin Love too. Might as well say that guy too.
I'll never say him, but
LaMarcus Aldridge better than Kevin Garnett. That's crazy.
without Paul Gasol is definitely a good player, but let's be honest. He wouldn't have been this guy if Kobe wasn't on those teams.
Oh yeah, we saw what he was in Memphis.
Exactly.
So
I argue that all the time.
So
Kobe made that man.
We'll leave it at there. This is Kobe's last game. Nothing but respect for this dude. The Black Mamba is out after going against the Utah Jazz a little bit later today. So next we're going to talk about the Warriors. They're going for 73. This is the LockEmUp Hoops podcast. I'm Realistic Randy with Mastermind and Bo Berry.
Attention, citizens of planet Earth. This is a public service announcement.